All right, Frank Stoner is in the house. Welcome back, Frank.
Thanks, Jan.
Yeah,
Good to be
great to
back.
see. Yeah, great to see you again. This is I believe, our third Let's Talk Rollerblading episode that we've done together, and then we also did the podcast interview. So, for those of you who haven't seen the podcast interview or the previous episodes of Let's Talk Rollerblading with Frank Stoner, I will link those in the description below. You can find them on the YouTube channel. So, Frank, it's wintertime, obviously, here in the United States. In Vermont, we haven't had much snow, so it's actually still skating season, which is really nice. How's it
Yeah.
looking over there in Denver?
So right before Christmas, we got a couple of snows, and then right after Christmas, we got a couple more. So right now, it's really crap outside because there had been as much as a foot or over a foot outside. I keep looking out the window because I'm looking out at the snow. It's mostly packed down now. So, but there's roads, there's some like side streets and stuff that have like, I don't know, like 8-10 inches of solid snowpack ice. The main roads are all clear, so that's cool. But yeah, it's crap. It's like the Midwest out here, man.
I'm jealous. I wish we had some snow because I really want to be skiing right now. But I do get to skate, which is also great. Have you been doing any skating lately?
No, not lately. I need to. It's been cold as shit, man. Before Christmas, it was like 20 below.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cold.
bitter cold. I mean, sure, y'all got that big cold front that passed through the whole country. It was cold, man. There was nobody.
Buffalo got creamed with that.
Yeah, they were getting like 7 feet of snow at a time.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys don't have any indoor parks over in Denver area?
There's a church one, and there's been a couple on and off. I don't go to one currently.
Okay.
If there is one, I haven't been to it.
Yeah, we have two in Vermont. I don't like either one of them. One of them is called Bolton Valley. It's at a ski area. It's $20 to skate it. It's indoors. It has a nice bowl and a nice mini ramp that you would like, and it has a vert ramp. But the street course is absolutely horrific.
Uh-huh.
And the guy who runs it, we were skating there 2 weeks ago. Every ramp we would go on, he would walk over, he wouldn't say anything to us, and just put up a handwritten sign that says "No wax." Like on every spot we're skating. So he was like everywhere, and we weren't even waxing anything. He was just like,
because you're rollerbladers or what?
Because we were rollerblading, yeah. And to me, no waxing means no rollerblading. It's like a no skating sign for rollerbladers is no waxing, right? So like you gotta, these concrete DIY parks here in Vermont covered in like no waxing signs, right? It's like all that means is they want you to rollerblade there. And then they're like, and then they yell at you. There's like a sign that says no waxing. I'm like, you guys skateboard. Like, have you ever been to a skateboard spot that says no skateboarding?
Right.
And you're like, oh, no skateboarding. We're not going to skate here. No.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. But yeah, this guy that's parked, we spent, it was four of us, spent $80 to skate at this shitty park. And he's just walking around giving us attitude and putting up no waxing signs.
Were y'all the only ones there?
There was one skateboarder who's actually kind of cool.
There were some dudes in Austin back in the day at the Ramp Ranch, and they would like see us come in with our backpacks and be like, "Oh, sweet rollerbladers! Somebody brought wax." Like the dudes who could skate the 7-foot that Luke's ramp is a copy of. Some of those dudes who could shred that ramp on a skateboard were really good,
right?
And they I mean really good, like kickflip indies and stuff like that. All kinds of grinds real fast, and they wanted to grind all the way across the same way we did, So. They were always stoked to see us, and the biker guys didn't give a shit either way.
Bikers didn't give a shit, and I feel like back then it was less skateboarders that like enjoyed wax. Today, all the young kids, I mean, it seems like most of them wax stuff, and the only people who still give us issues are like the old school dudes that are there, like our age or older, mid-40s to 50s, mid-50s dudes are like still hate wax.
Yeah.
But enough of that. I want to welcome everyone who's here to live chat. We've got Launder, we've got Vinny, we've got Sandro Timoteo in the house, legendary skater from Peru, living in Montreal. You remember Sandro from Daily Bread, No One's Children section? Yeah. And Robert is in the house as well. And Tacky, welcome everyone. Well, since we were talking about wax at skate parks, anyone in live chat experience any issues with older skateboarders with their no waxing signs? And how's the younger skateboard generation with the wax in your parks? Let's hear it in the live chat. I have a few things that I got in the mail recently. One of them is this one and the same hoodie from a brand out in New Jersey. It's got the back of it says "Film the Filmers." Do you see that, Frank, or no?
Oh, yeah, you can see it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. The color is safe. It's like good for going out in the woods during hunting season. Don't have to worry about it. Got some stickers. Film to Filmers. One and the same. Cool stuff. I have a link to their website. You can check it out. I also got some frames in the mail, Frank, and I thought we could check those out. The last show I did, Let's Talk Rollerblading, was with Lawrence Ingram. And Lawrence, I've known him since the 90s. We did the magazines together. Or not together, but at the same time. He did Sequence and I did Scum.
Yeah.
And then he did 50-50 Forever, brought it back. And I got a package from Lawrence, which I'm going to open up. But before I do that, let's go back to the live chat, see if anybody answered the questions we had. Well, Launder asked a question in Spanish, which I don't know. Vinny, my parks are all metal coping, so no wax is needed.
How could that be true? Metal coping's what you wax, bro.
More details, Vinny. You're using metal grind plates, metal frames? Because, I'm thinking back, I really loved skating those Senate metal grind plates. Those aluminum grind plates were so fun on coping. And I've kind of wanted to skate some metal frames to see what those are like.
Lander's talking to Sandro.
Okay.
He's saying nice to meet you and stuff like that.
And Lander, I've loaned older skaters wax and they love it. And Sandro, wax always waxed. Older skaters of Peru love wax. Great.
Oh yeah, Peru knows what's
awesome. And Vinny is saying, nope, blades are completely original, 2010 fatty, all plastic. Well, that's his skate for coping. And I'm glad the coping at your park slides because I was at a park the other day with metal coping and it did not slide one bit.
Yeah.
But maybe somebody waxed before you got there. Who knows?
So I'll give you one sort of nickel's worth of free advice. One thing that a lot of those old school skateboarder dudes will tolerate is spray-on lacquer that you can buy at Home Depot, and that can get you through a session, and it'll make the coping slide good enough for a session. And for whatever reason, they don't object to that. So if you can keep everybody off the coping, especially if it's like in the summer and it's like hot, you can spray that shit on the coping, and it'll take maybe 10 minutes to dry, and then it'll slide for the whole time. And their big objection is that they don't get it on their wheels and then slide and fall down. But it's
right.
like, the ones of you guys who know how to skate are stoked when wax shows up, and they want to grind 50 feet across the quarter the same as everybody else does. Among those who can grind 50 feet on the quarter pipe, which is not always the skateboarders who are giving you a hard time about it.
The ones that give us a hard time are usually the ones who kind of just slap the coping.
Yeah.
And
like a 5.0 for like 5 feet or something.
Yeah, it's because they can't really grind. So
supposedly the complaint is that the wax gets on the wheels and then their boards slide out from under them because their wheels have like wax bits on the urethane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true because if it was true, it'd fuck up our wheels, and it doesn't.
I don't think I've actually heard any skateboarder use that personally. Usually
we got into it with some chick out in Gunnison, Colorado on the road trip 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't remember. And she was trying to give us that. And we're like, that's just not true. We've been doing this a long time, and we've never heard that as the story. So you're just making shit up.
Yeah, no, it's just.
And we're also there with like 150 rollerbladers. Like, look.
It's just
keep walking, Karen.
The bottom line is they don't like rollerbladers. It's not wax. Wax has nothing to do with it. It's just rollerbladers. Now, yeah, it's silly, but let's get to this package I got it from Lawrence. I'm gonna open this up. I've been skating the Wish frames for 5 or 6 years. I got them from Mick Casals because they were too big for me. It was when they only had the medium size, and I love them. I've been loving skating them. I've had them on 6 different skates. But with my old age, I just turned 47 last week.
Happy birthday, Jan. I didn't know it was your birthday.
Thank you.
It's right before Christmas, right?
Right after Christmas, December 27th.
27th. Okay. Yeah, my bad. Happy birthday, Jan.
Oh, thank you very much. And what I've been experiencing with old age is it's a lot harder to bend my knees, my ankles, like doing top sides with the wish frames now. Like it's gotten harder and a little bit more painful. So I'm like, I should go back to like a normal aggressive frame. So Lawrence sent me some frames, and I'm going to open them right now. And these are the prime frames, which I've never seen before. But I'm excited because these are the ones you can do all the 3D printing sidewalls and stuff for. So, oh, it's taped so good that I can't get it open. Here we go. I want to know, is anybody skating these prime frames in the group chat? I'd love to hear what you think about them. So
I don't even know what frames they are. Are they metal?
Yeah, they're metal core, and then you can put those outer walls, the plastic outer walls on them. So, what I got in the package from Lawrence is the frames. They're in a nice box. I like this box a lot.
That is a cool box.
You can see the frame a little bit here. It's got the frame on the box itself. UFS, a little bit smushed because it was in an envelope. 50-50 on the back. And I got some 58 millimeter 90 wheels. And Lawrence makes 56 millimeter and 58 millimeter wheels for 50-50 that have their own mold. Like he has a mold made. And if you see in the packaging, these wheels come pre-packaged with bearings in them, which is pretty rare. You don't see that very often.
That's cool.
So you get the wheels and the bearings. So yeah, this is his own mold for these and the 56s.
What kind of bearings are they? ABAC 3, ABAC 5?
ABAC. It's a good question. It's hard for me to see. I think I'm losing my sight. Probably like it says the bearing says 50-50 on it.
Well, that's cool.
ABAC 9, I believe. Or ABAC. Wow.
Spared no expense. He's like the guy from Jurassic Park over
there. ABAC 9. But you know what? To be perfectly honest, you know, we did vicious bearings back in the day. We had ABAC 5s, we had ABAC 7s, we had ABAC 9s. We're talking about, you know, like a couple cents different.
Pennies of difference.
And a different ABACs, right? And, you know, ABACs, they're very similar. The bearings, it's really like, it's the components in the bearings. You could have an ABAC 7 from one brand, it's rated the same, but if a different brand has better components, like the better metals and everything better, like whatever's in there, it's a better bearing. So
yeah, I think it's a higher tolerance. It's not a speed rating, it's a manufacturing rating.
And Lauren sent me some stickers.
Sweet.
And so it's got a sticker pack. It's a balanced distribution sticker pack because it's got a mushroom blading sticker, chroma sticker, compass sticker, 50-50 sticker. So all the brands underneath the distribution. And I don't know if you saw, but Lawrence is starting his own skate company.
Yeah, I heard wind of that.
Skate. So let's check out these frames.
Yeah, let's see them.
And wait, let me see if anybody has these. So we got Vinny saying happy birthday. Thank you, Vinny. Launder says he remembers an indoor skate park in Pierpont Beach. It was so slippery I couldn't push off because I would fall, slip. I never went back, but it was full of skateboarders. I've skated some parks that are slippery just because the ramps were like, I don't know, dirty, dusty, or.
Yeah, when Eisenberg's first opened, it was like unskateable. It was so slick in there. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember skating some places that are so slick that you mop like Coca-Cola on the ramps.
We used to do that at Loretta's parks. We do. Yeah. It's like 1 part Coke, 10 parts water.
See, and that's the thing.
Just enough sticky to take away, to clump up the dust. And
that's when you use just normal, what's that called? Masonite instead of skate light. Or like, I never really liked Masonite that much because it is slippery when it's brand new. You get Masonite burns when you fall. I like those parks in Europe and Germany and stuff where you go to skate park and it's really nice wood, like really smooth.
Yeah,
wood.
the Lausanne Bowl had that. It was like birch plywood.
Yeah, so
and then they cover it with lacquer or something.
And I've been to parks in Germany and stuff where the whole skate park, the floor and everything is that wood. It's like the whole park's one ramp, and that's nice. And when you fall, you still slide like 100 feet, but you don't get masonite burns.
No. You know what it is? It's not birch. It's not Baltic birch. It's Finland pine. Finland pine is what they use. There was an article about that a million years ago for one of the Bercy contests, and the guy who built the ramps was like a cabinet maker, and he was like, "Yeah, I called a guy who ran a skate park, and he said everybody does Finland pine, so we built everything out of Finland pine." And the interviewer's like, I don't know who it was, Brian Smith or somebody, was saying like, you know, did just the surface or the whole thing? And he's like, "Oh shit, it's just the surface." And he spent like $100,000 buying plywood to make those ramps that they were only using for the weekend.
See, the wood there, like I'm sure it's changed, but when they had that Ignition skate park in Germany, when they had Ignition skate shop back in Bad Reichenhall, southern Germany back in the 2000s, they had a skate park. Same thing. The whole thing was, wood floors. Everything was wood. One big ramp basically. But wood was really cheap. Like good quality wood was really cheap, much cheaper than it was in the U.S. back then. And better wood, so it was not as expensive to do there. So Vinny says, I just buy cheap frames. He likes to get the Rossi's team ones for $5 from Oak City. I know you could get some really good stock frame deals. I mean, there's still so many Valo frames sitting in boxes at skate shops because they, so
those Valo frames were really good. Mick used to love those.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't want them, so they would get a different frame, and the skate shops would switch them out. And then Vinny, I just left the park because I was raging. There was a line for a ledge, and the boarder cut me off and took the grind and bailed. That sucks, dude. All right, so let's get on to these frames. Unboxing of the prime frames.
Yeah, let's see.
And these are not just prime frames. These are the Chris Farmer Pro Model prime frames.
Cool.
So we've got Farm. See the reflection there. Let's open them up. Oh my god, these are shrink wrapped quite tight. I didn't think about bringing like a knife here to the live stream.
Bite it. You're not getting any younger.
All right, here we go. So here, those actually feel really solid. So here's a better look at the frame. We got the 50/50 logos, the Farmer screen printed. You've got some rectangle sort of receptor bolts for the bolts.
So one Allen key. That's cool.
Yeah, one Allen key here is round. It comes with the spacers. It's got the frame spacers in there. It comes with the UFS bolts right here to mount to your frame. So obviously a UFS. So this is the core frame. You have...
Hold the top up, Jan. I want to see where the UFS mounts. Oh, it's a slot. Oh, that's cool. Good looks. Good looks to Lawrence for coming up with that.
So it's a slot there. And
it goes all the way through the H block, that slot.
So this is the frame that people print. And it says 270 millimeter length on it right here. So it's actually printed in there.
That's cool. Is it stamped or is it printed?
It's in the mold, not printed. So it's
like embossed?
It's embossed. It's embossed into the mold. So those look pretty sick. And then I don't know if you can see, but the metal core goes up in there. And then
so that's that 50/50 one that he had back in the day.
Yeah, so you could remove this part, the metal part out, and then you can add different frame walls and stuff to it. That's why you see all those 3D printed ones like Justin Thursday makes and stuff.
Yeah.
So those are pretty cool. Do I even have an Allen wrench to take it apart? Let me check. I gotta have something in here. Something in here.
Got the old Cave of Wonders desk drawer.
Here we go. Here we go. Allen wrench. So it looks like you only... Well, I'm not really sure how it works, but let's see.
If the wheel bolts, that plastic thing ought to come off.
Right.
Those 4 bolts should be what holds the plastic part captive. I'll be curious to see if there's a groove that matches the inside radius of that metal component.
So I took the bolt out. It just looks like that. Obviously, you got your rectangle receptor. We've got some. Do these spacers come out? I don't know.
The ones in the metal might not.
The frame spacers or the metal spacers here. Usually, I'm used to them just falling out of frames when you take them off.
They might fall out of the middle ones when you do it, because the middle ones go. I wonder if they're different. Because the middle, like the outside two, wheels 1 and 4, have metal holding it, and then the middle two, wheels 2 and 3, don't.
Right.
So I wonder if the spacers are different. Make sure you don't mix those up in case they're different, Jan.
All right, so these are outside.
Because you'll have a nightmare putting them together if they're different.
Well, I can't be. I mean, we'll see. All right, so we've almost got all of our bolts out. All right, guys, bear with me. I should have brought a my impact drill. I could have done it in a second. Okay, so middle bolts out.
Push on those middle spacers real quick just to make sure they're not going to fly off and get lost in the carpet.
Okay, middle spacers. Middle spacers come out easier than the...
The ones in the metal might be put in with a press, dude.
Maybe. See if they come out or not. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, metal. It fell on the carpet anyway.
Yeah, it's lost. Send it back to Lawrence.
All right. These outer ones are... I'm assuming you have to take them out to get... Okay, they don't... No, wait. Anybody use these frames? Know how to take them apart? Nope. All right.
I remember seeing them back in the day, but I never saw them in real life.
All right. Well, I don't know how to get these spacers out, so I think we'll stop wasting time, and I'll figure it out later. So, but anyway.
But that whole plastic undercarriage comes off. And
so it's supposed to come off. Yeah, and you're supposed to be able to replace the sidewalls or do custom 3D printing. And there's lots of 3D printing options. There's lots of people doing 3D printing, which would be pretty interesting to see. Vinny says to tug real tough. Well, it's not even a good place to get leverage on these things.
Show us your working hands, Jan.
Oh, wait. I'm able to pull them to the side a little bit.
Are the edges, Jan, if you run your finger along the metal edge of the frame on top, is it sharp or is it broken? Like, did they ease that edge up? Yeah.
It's not that sharp, no.
It's not sharp? Okay. That's good.
I mean,
that's good quality assurance there.
Oh, wait. Here we go. I got it.
Bam.
There we go. Thank you, Vinny, for telling me to tug it apart. So that's the core. So that's what you have right there.
How rigid is it, Jan?
It's pretty solid. It's very lightweight. It's aluminum. So it's very lightweight. I mean, it doesn't feel like anything. So, but it feels very solid. It does. It's like, I mean, when I squeeze on here, it doesn't have any give at all. So it feels pretty rigid.
Can you twist it at all?
No.
Okay.
No, cool. No. It's solid. It's very solid. So this is the part that you can 3D print, basically. You can 3D print.
If you look on the inside, Jan, is there like a... Okay, I can see it now. If you tilt that forward, that arch is mirrored with the plastic, right? So that's bearing on the metal when you're skating?
So this arch here, like this? Yeah, so that's what presses in. That's what presses in to the prime frame.
Okay. So it's making full contact on that.
It's a pretty cool concept. Now, Lawrence said that these frames are really good for park skating, which I agree. I'm sure they're very good for park skating. He said They're not really. He said they're very they're very rigid.
Yeah.
So they're not great for. I cut myself or something. My hand's bleeding. Taking these apart. Anyway, he said they're not. Don't do gaps in them. Like they're not great for like doing gaps and stuff like that. But for skating park, for doing coping for skating park, they're supposed to be really good. Obviously, these are the Farmer frames. Farmer skates street all the time in these. I mean, we see Farmer skate, right? He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he's amazing because of these frames and his sway boot. That's the only reason. So if you got the sway boots, these frames, you will be as good as Farmer. I guarantee it. So I did cut myself on something. So obviously there's something sharp somewhere.
I'm guessing one of those edges, either on the plastic or on the metal. It's probably the plastic. It might be the plastic.
Yeah, I cut my finger. I don't know if you can see it, but it's bleeding right there.
Yeah. One of those edges. Yeah. That's why I was asking you to check, because a lot of stuff, I'm guessing those are from China.
Yeah, I assume they're from China. I mean, it probably says in the box, right? It has to say. And it does not say on the box. And this is the large frame. There's two different sizes. There's the medium, which is 250 millimeter, and the large, which is 270 millimeters. So you have options depending on what size you are. But yeah, these are really rad. I'm stoked on these.
I was at Lawrence's house a few years ago before the pandemic, because he lives like an hour drive from my wife's family. And I went over and did a podcast at his house. And I think he and I might have talked about those frames, and he was thinking that they were too expensive to bring back, but something must have changed. Either he got more money or they gave him a better price or something. That's good for him for bringing those back. That's super cool.
Well, what really, I think, helped bring him back is 3D printing, which is what's really helping him do his boot company, because you can do so many mold test molds and stuff like that. Design is a lot easier. And with the 3D printing, it makes people excited about these frames that they can make.
Yeah, you could use that. Yeah, use that anchor to put anything you want on there, as long as those outside two wheels are in that location.
So that's great marketing. And I just saw Older Bladers also said just pulled it off. I did, and now I'm bleeding. So if you get these frames, you pull them off, be careful. Wear some gloves. And nice hoodie, Jan. Much love. One and the same. Thank you. This hoodie is awesome. It actually matches the frames a little bit. And somebody had mentioned in here that they match the weekend wheels and skates. Obviously, I should try to get a pair of the weekend skates for the sweater. That would be the cool outfit. Launder just saw that episode with Frank and Lawrence the other day. So
okay. Yeah, he did the first part, and I sat outside while he was doing it. And this was back before he had his warehouse space. So it was in his garage at his house. So I just stood in the driveway, chain smoking cigarettes. And then when it was time, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to take a break, and then we'll have a special guest." And I just walked over and sat down with him. But he had that wall behind him with all the rollerblades hanging on the pegboard.
That's a really cool setup.
Yeah, I haven't been to see his new arrangement in the warehouse where he's got that little mini ramp and that other stuff.
I'd like to skate that. He doesn't seem to skate the mini ramp too often, which is funny because I watched some videos, and apparently he never really skated mini ramp in his life.
No, he hadn't. I think he built that on purpose.
Yeah, and I love mini ramp. I feel like that mini ramp's maybe a little small. It's like a 3 foot or something only, right?
It's 3 foot, and I think it's maybe 16 feet wide.
Yeah, I think 4 foot might have been a little. I don't know.
16 feet wide isn't very wide, though. I mean,
no, but a 4 foot is not bad.
When he was at Woodward the year, I think you and I were both there at the same time. That giant mini ramp that's 3 feet tall at the top of the hill at the playground, I think it's called. Him and the rest of his guys were killing it in there and having a lot of fun skating. So I feel like he built that on purpose because he's comfortable with that size. There's a park near his house that he skates sometimes, and you can see that he's not quite as comfortable, and it must be maybe 5 or 6 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that that's sort of higher than he would like.
Well, I feel like part of the reason of not being so comfortable right now is because, like us, he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
And I feel like skating ramps and stuff is not. I mean, I skated ramps, mini ramp forever, but I definitely don't feel as comfortable on them now. And I definitely I've noticed my trick vocabulary. Like I've been getting better at some stuff, surprisingly, this year. But I've also lost a lot of different tricks. Like my vocabulary has shrunk. I don't know if you experienced a shrinking in your vocabulary. I know you're not skating as much, but you used to have a pretty good array of tricks.
The biggest problem that I have is that I need to go to the physical therapist for the tendonitis I have in my right ankle and lower leg, which prevents me from doing any kind of torque or sole, like any kind of weight bearing on the right foot. So I can do left foot sole, left foot royale, front side, back side, that kind of stuff. Back slides are fine, but like I couldn't do any kind of soyale, really nothing with the right foot. So that's really, really limiting. But as soon as, I mean, I can still do those tricks. I just can't bear, it's too painful to bear weight at the moment. But the dude that I went to see was really good. I would recommend physical therapy over any other kind of treatment. Because the dude that I saw just fixed all my problems, and I just need to go back and have him fix my ankle, and then I'll be able to skate again.
Good. Well, hopefully that happens this year.
Yeah, it needs to happen.
More footage of you, and you live right by, what's your with the ramp, Luke Bender. You live right by Luke Bender, and he's got that amazing mini ramp, and he just built like a street section there.
Yeah, he's been going crazy over there.
So he's trying to compete against Clark Herpin.
He sort of is, and I think he's competing now. And I will be. I have a standing invite from Clark to go skate Clark's ramp, and I would love to go out there and hang out with Clark and skate his skate Dreamland thing. But I've got a special bias towards Luke's because I think it's better geometry, personally.
Well, if you do go to Clark's, I will drive down there and meet you.
Okay, deal. Let's do that in the summer.
Yeah, I'm totally down to do that. And speaking of events, any plans to go to Bitter Cold Showdown?
Me? No. So I got a new job. I work for the Colorado legislature now.
Okay.
And I can't do anything. I can't leave. I can't take a day off. Nothing between now and May. Actually, tomorrow's the first day of the legislature, the General Assembly going into session. So I can't do anything until May, except maybe something like this.
Then we'll have to meet at Clark's house then.
Yeah, let's do
that. And Renee, $2 donation. Thank you, Renee. Super chat, super sticker. I appreciate it. And Launder says, full disclosure, 50/50 will not and is not liable for any cuts or accidents after delivery. Believe it. I believe it. And Renee also says, I miss skating the Daily Bread Mini. And the Daily Bread Mini, well, there was two of them. There was the first one at the old Daily Bread office, which was like the Lawrence ramp. It was like a 3-foot mini ramp, about 16 feet wide.
Yeah.
Really weird office building. The actual office space, I went there with Lonnie when we drove to California. The actual office space, you couldn't stand in the office. You had it was only like 5-foot ceiling, so you had to like duck, and then you sit in a chair. It's really low ceilings. It was really weird. And then obviously they had like that 8-foot mini ramp that was like 12 feet wide at the
that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And that one was not wide enough.
Yeah, because it was like 12 feet wide.
Yeah, it was like too tall for the height. But people did do some crazy stuff on it. You know, I know Shima did some cool tricks on it. You had like the wall.
You could jump out and stall up on top of something.
Yeah, there was like the wall, like at the little half wall at the top of the balcony. You could stall out, or you could stall against the wall itself, like the building. There's definitely some cool stuff. Frank, let me see. H Block says, Frank, I like that. H Block. Frank Stoner should create the official trick name book.
No.
Frank? Nope. You've almost created a trick name book. I mean, you've written articles about it. You've had many debates about it.
Yeah, but my attitude isn't to tell everybody what to say. My approach is to describe how other people are imagining the different names for the tricks. You know, LA Unity versus Savannah and all that. I've said my piece about that a couple of dozen times.
And I want to know, Frank, do you use Discord? it would be nice to have some your knowledge in there, the skate park Discord.
I do have Discord. I have access to Discord from a guy that I Patreon who has a YouTube channel who plays video games. And so I am on Discord. I'll have to check that out. The skate park Discord. Is it Rollerbladers? Lander?
Yeah, it's I'm on there too. I mean, I'm not active on it. I just joined it, but they have like rollerblading, different groups about rollerblading. There's also like they do have a section for BMX and skateboard and
so you like go into the sub channel. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But I think it's mainly just bladers, but it's kind of open to everyone.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll check it out.
But Launder, anyone in the Discord, if you have more information about the Discord, you can post that in the live chat. So next topic of discussion was, well, I'm sure many of you on here, if you haven't been banned, are in a rollerblading Facebook group, because a lot of people do get banned from that group because there's a lot of admins and it's crazy. But there was a post on there recently from Dominic Bruce asking about videos. And his question was, what rollerblading sections stand out to you most for its song? Is there a song that when you hear it, it just brings you right back to that section? And he says there's no wrong answer. And his question was both for old school videos and new videos on YouTube. And when I looked through the answers people had, it was all old videos from the 90s, 2000s.
So like VHS era,
DVD era.
Okay.
Basically, sit in front of the TV with your friends era, watch videos 100 times, and it makes sense. Back then, there was as many videos. You had them. You physically had them. You owned them. You stuck them in. You looked at the art, the VHS, DVD, whatever, and you watched them so many times. You knew every single song. People made playlists. So it makes sense that people remember all those songs, and they were young. Their memory was better. They could remember stuff better. But I feel like, one reason he didn't get very many answers of new YouTube videos is how many times you watch a video on YouTube, and can you find it again? Or even if you I bought a lot of, videos, VODs, a lot, but I don't think I've watched any of them more than once. It's kind of because they're out of sight, out of mind when they're sitting in a folder somewhere. If it was like a DVD on your countertop, you're like, oh, I'm going to stick that in, watch it or whatever. So I just feel like that memory in newer music videos is not as memorable because you don't watch them as much.
I watch a bunch of videos on YouTube over and over. One of my answers to that question would be that song. What was that song? It was called Special K. It was by some band. I don't remember the name of the band, but it was the song from the Chris Haffey Killer Boots section. And I guess the song fits the skating in the section. I don't know what kind of music Chris likes. What kind of music does Haffey like? Do you know?
I don't actually ever remember Haffey actually liking music. I mean, he liked skating. I think it was he was 100% skating, and he never had music that he played or anything.
I feel like I've seen him skate with headphones on. He must be playing.
Maybe later on.
But
I was filming with him at an era of Haffey. He moved to Orange County when he was older. Mm-hmm. When I'm filming with 14-year-old to 17-year-old Haffey, he didn't really listen to too much music.
Okay.
Maybe 18 to 20-year-old Haffey got more into music and headphones and stuff like that.
There was an edit that Aunt Medina made of one of the Colorado road trips that always, it's like a one-to-one connection between that year of the road trip and that song. I can't think of the name of the song or the year of the road trip, but I would link them instantaneously, kind of like the question asked.
Okay.
If I heard that song, I would know it, and I would know that's the song from the 2016 or whatever year it was.
Colorado road trip. I'm trying to think back at all the online videos I've seen. And that's one thing is I can't remember all the ones I've seen because I've seen so many.
Yeah.
And there's so many sections and they get lost. And I know that some of them had good music, but I don't know if I connect any songs to any of those videos. Mainly because I haven't watched them enough times for me personally. Let's see what anybody thinks in the live chat. Is there any videos, YouTube era videos, that when you hear a song on the radio or whatever, it takes you back to that video, that section?
Placebo was the name of that band. Sorry.
And going back to everyone here in the live chat, what is your favorite song from a section in any old skate video or edit? Your favorite one that you love? Frank, do you have one?
I mean, I'm going to give the same crappy answer I give every time, which is that my favorite skate video of all time was The Bottom Line, or is The Bottom Line. And I loved all the music from that whole video. And any song, any section is one of my favorites. Just as a kind of a blanket answer. I could sit and think and scratch my head for a second and come up with some others. I liked when Dave Payne used the song Falling Down for the fall section from, who was that band? They did Oz Factor. They did the Blue Room. Do you remember the name of that band?
No, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm sure somebody in here does.
It was like VG3, I think, fall section. Maybe VG4. I can't remember. Let me look it up real quick.
All right, let me get Doug Williams is in the house. Hey, Doug, good to see you in the live chat. Doug says, I think there's a discrepancy in time, but I'll go ahead and say this. I watch YouTube every day, watching skate videos. I watch that more than TV. And I feel like a lot of people watch, YouTube a lot more now than ever before. I don't think too many people watch straight up TV, but people do streaming services.
My in-laws, man, they watch TV. They watch regular TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they watch all the the crime shows like CSI and all that, and they're like waiting for 8 o'clock when their show comes on, like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was looking at a newspaper the other day, and they still have the television guide.
TV listings.
I'm curious how many people actually look at that, and is that like paid advertising? Like, I don't know.
It's the same number of people who read the paper. That's how many.
Yeah, but a lot of people read the paper don't look at the TV listings.
I bet it's closer to 1-to-1 than you would imagine, or similar numbers as was 20 years ago. The band was called Unwritten Law, Jan.
Oh, Unwritten Law. Okay.
They had a song called Falling Down that Dave Payne used in VG3 or VG4 fall section, and it was nice. It's a really good song. I like it a lot.
I mean, for me, songs that bring back a section like the Eagles, right? Hotel California, John Elliott, Wasteland.
Yeah.
I was never a big Eagles fan at all.
Yeah.
Until that video came out and the song was so good with John skating.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the first, there was a lot of songs before that, like the early VGs and Harvest of Trust and stuff that I can relate. But I think that song was like the one that stuck out the most for me throughout the years is the John Elliott section in, what video was it? Again, I just said
Wasteland.
That was a great section, great skating. And that was like the transition period from John's kind of preppy high school look to his rock and roll look that you saw in everything after that. Vinny says, I love the song from USD Istanbul video, which I don't remember that. Doug, I think I watched Randy's Dead Wheels section at least 100 times since it dropped. So, Doug, what's the song in that section? Do you know? Because I saw it too, but I only watched it maybe twice, and I don't remember.
Andre. Oh, you know what else? Yeah, I want to add one more. Pat Lennon's 4x4 song, the Leading the Blind song, Jackie by Scott Walker. That to me is inseparable. That song and that section are like the same thing in my mind.
I feel like that's with that almost most of the sections in that, like the Spellbound, Susan Banshee songs with Broskow,
Yeah.
and an Interpol song with Haffey. Like,
Yeah.
those 3 songs especially, I think, went really like very impactful.
Yeah.
Like you hear those songs if you've seen that video, and if you had that video, you saw it. That's like a video. Everyone who had Lead a Blind probably watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you might have sent me a copy right when it came out, and you mailed it to me in Fort Collins. And I remember watching it like in a DVD player and thinking, I didn't realize skate videos were on DVDs now, because I was pretty out of touch by then.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, I did, what was it, 2002? So this would have been, I mean, that came out in like 2004, so it would have been like 2 years after the kind of DVDs were coming out, because the first skate video that was on DVD was the 616 video in code that Drew Backrack made. Then Life Plus won.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember people playing Life Plus on their like PlayStations that could play DVDs.
and when I did Daily Bread 5 No One's Children at the same time as Razor Still This Video, which premiered one day apart at ASR Trade Show in 2002, Still This Video came out as VHS, and No One's Children came out as a DVD. So No One's Children was my first DVD. I kind of wish that Still This Video would have been DVD too, because the quality would have been better.
Yeah.
Now, Doug Williams, when I hear Future and Little Yachty, pardon me, I instantly think of Dennis Lopez from Up to No Good, which I have not seen. Have you seen that, Frank?
No.
So
how recent is that?
Doug, how recent is that? I'm going to have to write that down and check it out. And 4x4 Leader Blind also has an amazing soundtrack, which we had just talked about. And Launders, another person, YouTube only. Older Bladers, VG7, Visual Aids, Lenny Kravitz, Believe. I remember that section now that you said the song. So,
yeah.
Remember that, Frank?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I never had VG7 on VHS. That's one of the ones that I never had. I think I had all the other ones, but for whatever. Like Lonnie or Jason or somebody borrowed it and never gave it back. I don't remember ever having it, though. That was the Mediocrity or Mediocracy or something?
That sounds like that one, yeah.
Mediocrity, I think.
Doug says that section came out in 2020, so it's fairly recent.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out.
You know, I was just remember being on tour with the Kelsos, Sean and Colin Kelso for Razor Still This Video. They were probably about 15 or 16. And those kids, they knew every song in every video. You know, you could name any video, they could tell you the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, from start to finish.
Cody Sanders is good at that too.
And Cody is as well. I wonder.
He knows every trick too.
I'd be curious to know, like, if there's any younger kids who are that good with the YouTube videos generation. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's people who sit there and watch them 100 times, but I feel like a lot of people don't.
That New Zealander kid, Brandon
Drummond, yeah.
He might be a candidate for that.
We're gonna have to ask him.
Have you had him on here before?
Yeah, I had him on the podcast quite a while ago. I thought you saw it, or no?
No, you and me talked about him,
okay.
But we didn't. You were telling me about some game of Blade he was doing by himself with an app on his phone.
I don't even remember that conversation.
Well, I don't either, but that's what the conversation was.
So, going back to videos, there's a video that just came out this past year called Ends from Anthony Medina. Anthony Medina is an Austin, Texas blader. Frank and I are Austin, Texas bladers. That's where we grew up blading at for the most part. And Ant Medina was somebody we skated with in the 90s, early 2000s. And then he quit for several years, came back in, and he's just pretty much been getting better and better at skating and been getting better and better at making videos. And Ends is
I love watching Ant's videos. I think they're great.
Oh, they're great. And the crew is great. It's all the same people that we all skate with.
Yeah.
You know, when we're there. A few new people here and there, but Ends was the final full-length release from Ant Medina, or so he says. You can never trust people's final stuff because sometimes.
Oh, did he say that? I didn't realize that was why it was called Ends.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the final video.
Oh.
The previous two videos, Candy, both these videos came with a book, which I really like that new videos are coming with books.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think the books are all that great, but it's cool to see the photos. I'd like to have a little bit more like some text in them. None of them really have any text. It's mainly just pictures.
Picture books.
They're picture books, and they're cool. I got the Ins book from Mick. He shot the photos. They're really cool. I got the book, and it was bent on the spine, so it was kind of sad. It wasn't packaged very good, but the book was cool. The video is great, and that crew, I mean, everyone in there is so good. TK, amazing.
Yeah.
Heath, watching Heath skate, like Heath is such a wild style. He eats shit so crazy. Like he eats so much shit in this video. Blows my mind. And that new guy, I don't know who he is, where he came from, Dan Robinson. Really, really good at skating. And he skated rail in this video, the legendary red rails at the University of Texas. And I did notice in this video, and by the way, Ins is available now on YouTube for free. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out. But
he uploaded it at like midnight on New Year's or the day after New Year's. I was like the third person to watch it on YouTube.
Oh, sick. I bought it on his when it was for sale, and now it's available on YouTube for free, which is awesome. So definitely check it out. Great video. One thing about this video that I found really interesting being from Austin is Austin has a lot of spots and it has a lot of new spots, and there's still a fair amount of old school spots because a lot of spots have been destroyed, torn down because the city has just been completely rebuilt. But it was very interesting to see so many old spots in Austin downtown that we skated at or skated by for years being skated in a different way. I don't know if you noticed that in this video.
I did. I definitely did.
There's a lot of spots, literally like 20, 30-year-old spots that they're hitting a different thing on it that for some reason we never thought of.
Yeah.
Until they were filming this video, and it kind of blew my mind. It also blew my mind how many clips were filmed at the University of Texas, because the University of Texas is a place we skated at all the time in the 90s. It's like the world's best skate park.
Yeah.
Downstairs ledges everywhere, cool stuff.
Yeah, I saw somebody did a sweaty down white rail.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but I remember thinking, holy shit, white rail.
And they skate a lot of stuff at UT that has never been skated before.
Yeah, over by those fountains on the east side of campus. Yeah.
And it's the most clips from UT I've seen in a long time. And UT was a spot that was a bust back in the 90s, big time bust. And people used to always give fake names.
When I was teaching, Jan, at the University of Texas, you could rollerblade there because they had taken away the ban on rollerblading on campus.
But see, I rollerbladed there. I never got in trouble for rollerblading at UT because when I went to UT, I would park near campus. I would skate to school, and I would wear my class. I would skate into the building. I'd have my skates on the entire class, and then I would skate out of the building, and then I would skate around campus with like roll-ins and stuff. But I never got like in trouble. It was some on rec skates. It was more like aggressive skating.
No, we used to get rolled for that shit because there was a city ordinance saying you couldn't rollerblade in the street, and there was a university ordinance saying you couldn't skate either A, on campus, or B, on the sidewalks in campus. That was as recent as like 2000.
Yeah, well, they don't care anymore, that's for sure.
No, they definitely don't. And it's great to see those clips of some of those old spots and some of those spots that we just skated right past, and people are making use of them now. That's awesome.
So we have some agreement here about Ins. Doug Williams, Ins was great. I loved the entire video, and the entire video from start to finish was really good. I think it's a Medina masterpiece. Robert says Ins equals fire. It was. Older Bladers going back. No Leaf Clover by Metallica from Dust Lammer section in Coup d'Etat.
Oh, yeah.
Also legendary. Mick Casals was a blessing in that film. Mick is such a good rollerblader.
Yeah.
And, we've left Austin now. I've been gone for like 5 years. You've been gone for like 7 or 8 years. All those guys.
2014 I left, yeah. So 8 years.
So all those guys have gotten a lot older, and they all are still progressing.
Yep.
Every one of them is getting better. It's amazing to see. But going back to Dan Robinson, new to Austin, new to the Candy crew, his section was very interesting. And the one spot that he hit that blew my mind was red rail. So red rail was a rail in Austin. Frank used to kill, alley sold it both ways, fish sprayed it both ways, all sorts of tricks on it. It's basically a piece of sheet metal.
Before Shima too. Shima alley sold it, and I alley sold it both ways before Shima did.
That's right. So I have this clip here of Dan. We're gonna watch it so you can see the rail. So what they did is it was a bust for years, and then they welded these pieces of metal, like two
quarter-inch thick, big heavy plate cap.
And you could kind of get around it, like technically
not really.
You can kind of get around it, but not really. Anyway, Dan found a way to skate it. We're gonna watch a clip right now. If it plays.
Mine says it's loading.
It was loaded earlier. All right, let's get back here and let me see if I can put it in to the Dan Red Rails. Okay, there we go. Switch Soul to alley top porn. That was absolutely crazy.
That last cap, man, on a TTP, like you could get so fucking flexed.
So here we go. We got the cast top, the transfer, and that was absolutely mental. And I mean, let's just get the long shot of this rail. Okay, everybody, look at this rail. It's like a skate park rail, and I'm surprised no skate parks have put this rail in because this is probably one of the coolest street spots
somewhere
ever.
In these cabinets, Jan. I have the geometry for that staircase drawn up and written down, and someday I would like to build a copy of that thing.
Yeah, this is the coolest rail, and it's cool to see somebody skated it. I know that I've seen these bottom portions knocked off before in the past. BMXers used to shred the shit out of this rail too. This is like a
that
perfect
1
BMX
second
rail.
up on our view, the left hand, the rail that he grinded.
Mm-hmm.
That cap that's second from the bottom has been gone for like 10 years. And the other ones have been there for 10 years, at least.
I've lost the video again. All right, so is it gone?
It's playing. It's playing on mine.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That one cap is gone. So that one got knocked off, making that even cooler. Such a cool spot. And another thing in this video is, okay, you had some Dallas skating. You had there was no Ryan Rasmussen section because I heard Ryan hit his head again, and he's not able to skate, which is unfortunate because Ryan Rasmussen is one of my favorite skaters.
Yeah, Ryan's dope.
And one of the coolest dudes ever. But the intersection for this video is Austin's very own Andrew Broom. And Andrew Broom is hands down one of the best rollerbladers ever, in my opinion. So good.
I totally agree.
He's had so many sponsors. He skates for Razors now. Ground Control. Apparently, he's supposed to be getting a pro skate from Razors, which would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because he deserves it. And he's just been getting so much better. It's incredible. What's your opinions on our good friend Andrew Broom?
I think Andrew is probably the best rollerblader. He's one of my favorite. I love watching Andrew skate. I will watch him on videos. I will watch him in person. I will judge him in a contest. Andrew is one of my favorite people ever and of all time to watch skate. I think he's amazing, and he does the best tricks with such a cool style and cool spots, cool tricks. Amazing guy and amazing skater. And I'm glad to see that he's, sticking with it because he's so talented.
He's so talented. I mean, he kills part 2. Like, seeing him win the Frankie Morales Invitational this past year was awesome because, what younger...
He gets stage fright. He gets stage fright at contests.
He didn't like skating contests.
Even local Austin comps where it's like, bro, it's just us. He still gets the butterflies.
I think if Andrew had a good training, if Austin had a really good indoor skate park, then Andrew could have been at the level of competing in feasts, in my opinion. He could have been obviously those.
He can do cork 7. He can do cork 720s both ways, man.
Oh yeah, that's unbelievable. And I have his section from Ins. If you haven't seen it, we're going to watch it right now and comment over it.
Okay, before we start, I want to say a couple of things.
Yeah.
One of the things that Andrew does really, really well, and probably better than anybody, and there's a dim possibility that Lawrence Ingram might watch this, and I want to direct Lawrence and everybody else to watch Andrew's arms when he skates. He uses his arms like a cheetah uses his tail to control his body at high speed. And it looks like he's waving his arms around a lot, but he's not. He's actually in perfect control of his body. And if you watch his arm movements, you can see just how well in control of himself he is. That's something I want to point out ahead of time.
And I also want to say about when he spins out of his grinds, like the way he moves his weight, like his hips and stuff too, like how fast he does it. You'll see it in this section. And Doug Williams is out. He says he's off to get pizza. Awesome seeing you, Frank. Keep it up. Jan, love checking this out. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you, Doug. Have a good one, man.
And Launder says Jan called it. He said Broom was going to sweep FM Invitational. And I did say that.
That's cool.
As soon as he posted, I'm like, you should announce it. Broom's going to win. And he did. So I should have done some wagers on that.
The other thing I want to add before you click the play button is that Andrew Broom spins both ways all the time. And it's so easy to miss because his switch 540s and his regular 540s, you wouldn't know that it was switch because it's not awkward or weird. He can just do it both ways, the way people can soul grind both ways. Like as far back as Eric Shrine in whatever VG3, Eric Shrine has no unnatural and he souls the kink rail right foot and left foot. You wouldn't know a switch Eric Shrine soul grind unless you knew to look for it. And because it doesn't look unnatural, it doesn't look weird or unbalanced. It looks perfect. And Andrew can spin both ways and he grinds both ways. And unless you're really, really paying attention, you won't know how much switch stuff he's doing, which I think is awesome.
Well, make sure to point anything out if you know it's switch or not in this edit. We're going to play this without
his
the music.
Natural spin is counterclockwise. So anything that's the opposite direction or clockwise is unnatural, and he does everything right foot as his natural. So anything left foot soul or left foot based, for lack of a better word, will also be switch.
And I do want to mention one other person in this video before we watch the section that had really impressive tricks was Mason Richard. Yeah. Mason, especially in the intro, like his switch ups on rails.
Yeah.
And Zach Gutweiler seeing him skate. Obviously, Zach had a bad head injury this past year. Yeah. So I'm glad he recovered from that. And
I liked all of it. I liked Ant's clips. I liked mixed clips. I feel like I didn't see a Cody Sanders clip. I saw Cody like in the third person filming a lot of it.
Well, Cody's been riding BMX bikes, so
he's got a girlfriend who's a BMXer.
Yeah, who's been blading.
Well, that's cool. So they're just gonna switch.
She actually used to date. She used to date one of the Dallas bladers back in the day. I can't remember which one. So she's kind of been involved in blading for a long time.
I didn't know that.
And she's really cool too. She's really good at BMX. So anyway, let's get on to this broom section. We're going to watch it without the audio, so if you comment on it, I will have links to this entire video from Anthony Medina called Ins in the description below, so you can check that out after you watch this live stream with me and chat. Me and Frank, not me and chat. You're chat now. Okay, yeah, here we go.
Call me chat.
Let's see if it plays or not. All right.
Here we go.
So there's a lot of spots in this, like this spot, that I don't recognize because Austin has built so much new stuff. And this is just classic broom moment. Shot at how good he is.
Yeah.
And I do like this video too. It has a lot of shots of the city, classic city shots, cool personality. You kind of get a feeling of the scene, the group of people, and their energy in this throughout this video, which I find is pretty cool, like scene building. Pretty sick spot. Now, Frank, you've always been a heel roll guy.
Yeah, I can do heel rolls and toe rolls. He's got a couple in here. Don't lose sight of watching his arms. He has such powerful movements and controls everything he's doing just like that with his arms. His arms are doing all the work there.
Yeah.
That late 180 and all that, that's just perfect.
And this spin out of this grind right here is super like
Yeah, that's crazy
crazy.
town. That's
Ugh.
bonkers. And the sidewalk is angled. I like that second angle showing you that the landing was harder.
I think the one thing I don't like, the only thing I don't like about this video is when they have two people filming, the person filming fisheye always looks awkward.
Mm.
Like they're doing some awkward face thing or something. It's just like it kind of distracts from the trick from the long angle, in my opinion.
When I wrote the article about Lonnie's feet 3, I was making a point to show how, or to say how Lonnie was really diligent with his second angles, where he's always showing you some part of the story.
Right.
That, like, there's a crack in the landing, or, you know, the sidewalk was at a weird angle, or there was some additional thing that you need to know to give the skater proper respect. And Ant, I think, is doing a great job with that. Ant has always done a great job with that.
So this
is cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I know where that is. That's off of like Lamar somewhere, I think.
This
is a sweet trick. We got to watch this. This is so dope. Anybody would just do the Royale and call it good, but he drifts back to the far side and Ant paused it for a second, so we give Andrew the credit. That's good filmmaking, right?
That was a really good sixth spot. That looked like an old Austin spot. I don't know which one it is. This is a legendary Austin spot, and no one's ever thought about skating it the way he's doing right here.
At Bank 1.
I mean, that thing's been skated since the 90s,
and
no one's even looked at that.
We used to skate there from downtown.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is such great skating. Okay, so that was a switch fakie 3 right there. And you would just totally miss it because he did the abstract and everything.
Yeah.
And this spot, it was Little Red Rail, had been there forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the thing that I was thinking of when you said new spots or old spots in new ways.
Yeah. Those are all 90 spots.
Yeah.
Or been skated forever. This looks like a brand new school or something. This is so unbelievable sick. Right there.
I want to know if
that's something that reminds me of Michael Kraft. Because Michael Kraft.
I wonder if he fucked up his wheels doing that.
I don't know. I'm also curious because Andrew didn't use to skate with music, and now he has one headphone in. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, it's just one. If you watch, he only has one, so probably can hear for cars or whatever. I don't know.
That's a sick switch up.
But I'm curious what Andrew listens to music-wise, because I don't ever remember Andrew being into anything particular music-wise.
I don't remember either. He used to live with me, and I don't remember him listening to anything in particular.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see what he listens to now that he's actually skating with music.
That's a switch fakie 5 out of that top horn.
And that was super sick.
Yeah. That's cool.
So what would you call that? What to what?
I would call that, I guess, Savannah to 360 Savannah.
Or not Savannah to 360 Alley Unity?
Well, I don't want to make you rewind it. To me, the Savannah was the alley-oop top horn version of an alley-oop unity. So what I would call an alley-oop backside unity.
That backslide kind grind was also really cool.
Yeah, that's rad.
And this is on the University of Texas spot.
Yeah, it is. I recognize that spot.
Yeah.
That wheelchair ramp is new, I think.
Oh, they've built so much there.
You got it.
And I like how the first trick and the last trick end with him being super stoked on doing it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then the whole cruiser, the whole vibes there.
Yeah.
So that's the broom section. It was really good. It's even better when you watch it with the video, which
the audio.
Yeah, sorry. It's much better if you watch it with the audio and the video.
Yeah.
Which I'll post in the description below. So, your thoughts on end? How many times have you watched it? First of all.
The video I think I've watched twice. I watched it when I saw it come out, and I was like, in single digits, I think, of people who had watched it. Basically, Ant had uploaded it really close to when I saw it. And I've watched it once since then, and I've watched Andrew's section twice more since then, but with a lot more pausing than we did. Just because I wanted to check some of those things. Those switch fakie 5s that he's doing, man, are like amazing. I watched a couple of other of Andrew's sections. There was that spot by your parents' old house up off of Runberg, and it was in scratched and everything. It was like a loading dock that had like a bank up, and you would skate up, jump on, and spin off the thing. Andrew did in one of his sections with Win One Ants videos. He did like a just straightforward 7 switch off of that thing, and like that ground is not smooth asphalt. It's like awful. And he just fucking rinsed it, he just rinsed it. And I remember thinking, I don't remember noticing that was switch when I watched that video the first time it came out, and thinking, I wonder how many people are watching Andrew skate and having no idea, because it's not ASA and he's not putting up the fingers to show switch every time.
I mean, is he really switch, or is he just double natural?
Well, it's the other way from the way he would normally do it.
Because I feel like he's just naturally, I feel like everything's natural to him.
No, yeah, absolutely. It doesn't look like a switch trick. It doesn't look like, hey fellas, I'm squaring up to the thing to do it purposely the opposite way from how I normally do it. It's just part of his repertoire, which is great, because that's how it's supposed to look. That's how good you're supposed to be dope. And Andrew's definitely dope. And watching him skate is one of my favorite things to do, even to this day.
So another skater that you had brought up when we talked before the show that you find really good is Jel Brigman from Holland, or Yell. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
But I would have assumed it's a soft J with a Yelle is how I would say it.
It's definitely.
But you speak German better than I do.
I mean,
I know it's not German. It's Dutch.
Yeah, he's from Holland.
Yeah.
But I've heard it said before. I just can't remember how it's pronounced. And if you're watching this show, I apologize for butchering your name. But
yeah, same here.
He's a very good skater. He's competed in Feast Comps, Winter Clash, killed it, mini comps, and there's a run at Feast that you wanted to watch with him and discuss.
I do, yeah. Okay, so let me tell you about it first, and then I'll cue it up to play it. So this is 2017. This is the video on YouTube is called. I can send you the link, Jan. This is called USD at Roller Games World Championship in Nanjing, 2017-USD skates. And the section, I don't know how this was just playing on my computer one day, and I just happened to look up and watch this because it's like an 8-minute video, and I just looked up in time to see this 1 minute or 45-second run, and having no idea who this dude was, and wound up finding him on Facebook just to tell him, I think that was the best run in a skate park contest I've ever seen anyone do. And it's not like the perfect run, like he messes up a couple of things and his line slows down a couple of times, but just sort of understanding the reality of what skating park comps was like, either now or back in the day, is like there's a bunch of throwaway stuff, but to be able to stitch together the stuff that he stitches together in this run, like he runs out of speed going over the spine or goes around the spine, one or the other, and then just throws a McTwist on the quarter pipe. Like just fuck you. Like I'll just do a fucking McTwist right now. He throws a huge, his opening trick is 2 tricks. It's he charges all the way across the skate park and does a huge alley-oop topsoul across this big ass 8-foot high sub box, just rinsed, okay, and then goes all the way across the skate park and just boosts like an enormous 10-foot high flat 5 from this, I don't know, 3-meter, 9-10-foot quarter pipe into this like 10 or 12-foot bank. Like he just crushes this. It's amazing. And then he does a really good, I guess what people would call front salve to revert, or front salve to forward, or what old school guys would call an alley unity to forward, in the middle of his run. And then he throws a hand plant in there for no reason, which is dope. And throws in an alley top horn on the quarter. It's just and it's just like, it's like the reason that I think it's so good is because it's like, it feels like a Tuesday to him. This doesn't feel like the pinnacle of his skating career or anything. It just feels like, yeah, we went to China. It was cool. They built this cool park for us. We skated it. It was cool. And like, he wouldn't walk away from this thinking he's amazing. And that's partly why I think he's so amazing, is because he wouldn't think that this was legendary,
Right.
but I absolutely think it's legendary. The alley topsoul to start off the run is a way risky thing to do, going as fast as he was going and on a giant sub box and coming into a kind of a weird quarter is a hard row to hoe as your first trick. And then to go across the skate park and boost this giant flat 5. Okay, so having said all that, I'll let me see if I can cue this up. Okay.
All right, Frank's going to cue this up. Let us know what you think about this edit. You know, with what Frank said about it. I'd love to hear your opinions. Be part of the discussion. Let us know what you think.
Jan, do you think it'll play without audio or will it play with audio?
It'll play without audio.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share screen, screen 2, share. Okay, cool. So it's working.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to hit play. He's dropping in. He's in the white shirt. He's dropping in on the quarter. He's going to charge all the way across and do the alley topsoul. So I'll go ahead and click play.
It's such a gnarly ramp, too.
Fucking rinsed, man. Rinsed.
So
and then
good.
fucking boosted that. Liu Kang 3. Alley wall ride.
The one I noticed kind of sad is the amount of people in the bleachers.
I know there's like nobody. Okay, so then there's the front staff to forward, and then he like the wheels come off the wagon there, but like he still just throws an alley top horn, you know, rinsed, and then he goes over the spine, and then just like fuck you, McTwist, like in the middle of a street run, 360 over the spine, and then he's gonna do an invert.
Yeah.
Now he's out of time, so he's just gonna flip the spine. Like, dude.
What place did he get in this contest? You know?
He got like 3rd or 4th, I think. Let me see if it says. It doesn't say what place he got. I don't know what place he didn't win.
Right.
Let me unshare my screen. Stop sharing. Okay, now we're back. Yeah, amazing, dude. Like, amazing. What do you think of that?
I think it was phenomenal. I also feel like you did that. For him, it probably wasn't like a pinnacle run, because I've seen other runs of him. Like I've seen him skate Winter Clash in person, and you know, like I feel like that course, you're skating there. There's not the energy. Like Winter Clash has the energy with the audience and stuff. That course was kind of sad. You know, you're skating in front of like 10 people in bleachers.
It's still a dope course, and we're rollerbladers, so we're not used to anybody watching anyway.
Well, so, like, but some of those competition skaters are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Winter Clash, where there's like 5,000 people in the skate park, it would be amazing. And but like the first two, like just right off the bat, I think when I just looked up and saw that, it was like boosted to alley topsoul.
Mm-hmm.
And then across the skate park, and then just fucking throws this huge flat 5 into that tranny bank. Like those two tricks alone are maybe like 2 of the best back-to-back tricks I've seen. And then he does and then after the flat 5, he does a really, really steezed out Liu Kang 3 over the jump box, which doesn't look like a small jump box. So he carried all that speed out of the flat 5.
And there's not a lot of people who can do those.
No, I mean, the European guys seem like they're better at the big park stuff.
It's because they have such big parks. You know, they have such good parks there.
Still, though, that section, that's amazing. I was blown away. I mean, that's on par in terms of enjoyment with watching an Andrew Broom section. I think that's just amazing.
And does anybody want to comment or give us feedback in the live chat right now? If you do, go ahead and post your comment so we can check it out. Megan Mayo, super sticker. Thank you very much. Good.
Thanks, Megan.
And so, well, I'm going to have to leave soon. We got another like 10 minutes or so because my girlfriend has a meeting tonight and she's going to have to use the bandwidth.
Was the sticker a reminder of that? Hey, Jan, wrap it up, buddy.
Lucas says, first of all, welcome to the live chat. Speaking about competitions, are you guys following Julian Trudeau? Did you see his park edit? thoughts. Did you watch his new park edit?
I did not know.
Let me see if I can find it. You can. Have you been following Julian Cadeau at all?
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion with Julian Cadeau and his skating?
It. This is what I'll say. It comes across as very European to me. I don't mean that in a necessarily good or bad way. It just points to like wall ride to flat spin kind of stuff for me, which I think is awesome. And it's one direction skating can go. I feel like American skating is more street and sort of street park oriented. So, and that's one of the things that I think is so dope about this Jelle Brigman section is that as a guy from Holland, it's not just 900s with no grab. He's doing super steezed out flat fives and bomb ass alley topsouls on huge sub boxes. Like that's to me the kind of sweet spot between American and European I guess park skating. I'm not a huge fan of the like big 900s and big flips with no grab.
Mm-hmm.
I have had many long conversations with people over the years where, the idea of holding our feet is very limiting to rollerblading, and I can acknowledge that as a good argument. But and some people are going to want to take it in that direction. They're going to want to see, can you do a 1460? Can you do a whatever's after that spin? And it's cool that some people are into that. I'm personally not, and I think the biggest spin I ever did was like a 900. I never did a spin more than 900.
All right, so I pull up this Julian. I don't know if this is a section that he's talking about, but this is a Julian Cadeau section that came out on Christmas Day of 2022, so it's very new. It's called Heads Up. It says, since I came back from my ACL injury in 2020 and went back aggressive skating full mode, I often find myself in knots at La Hanger Skate Park. I imagined more and more big tricks without doing even one. However, decided it would be a very high level video there one day. So anyway, this goes back to a little bit of his old skating, and then it goes all new stuff. So let's check out this Julian Cadeau edit.
Yeah, let's see.
And let me pull it back down so people can see it. All right, so...
Okay, 540 kind grind. That's dope. Oh, God, it hit his face. Jesus. Yeah, Julian Cadeau is definitely dope, man.
And he just did that street edit. I don't know if you saw it. Fritz,
yeah.
He did with Fritz, and that street edit was mind-blowing. I mean, Julian Cadeau is, in my opinion, definitely the top 5 rollerbladers of all times.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Really good. I mean, look at this.
Oh, Misty flipped the top horn. I feel like I've seen that trick before. Maybe I haven't.
From a winter clash. So this is going to be all of his new stuff.
Okay.
He's doing. So, I mean, there's kind of the big spins with no grabs. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. God, he hit the wall, too? That was... Phew.
This park looks really cool.
That park looks amazing.
Yeah, in France. Nantes, France. It's nice to see, him pumping out all these sections.
Yeah, fake grab backflip. That's dope.
He was at the comp, the Carriers comp, competing.
That was sick. He's sick for sure. Like
he's really sick.
I'm not saying he's not. The guy's amazing. Yeah, just McTwist. Boom, right there.
There was a grab.
Maybe it wasn't a McTwist. Maybe it was like a hand plant 540. Yeah, backflip 180? Backflip 540?
That was gnarly.
That was a backflip 180, I think.
We got Canada in the house. Stefan, what do you think about this Cadeau section, Stefan? We got some vert ramp action. I know you skated vert.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
That was unbelievable, wasn't
Just fucking gainer into the quarter, dude? Oh, my God. Oh, it's a bank. Okay. Still. Fuck that, dude. Just a straight up stall to gainer? Jesus Christ. That's cool. That's a cool Liu Kang off the backslide.
Yeah.
Full cab true miz. And yeah, 540 kind grind. Oh, he got flexed a bunch of times. I'm glad they put that in there. He does that wraparound thing with his leg where it's kind of half cheating.
That was sick.
Yeah, cab alley fish. That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh, flat 3 to topsoul, dude.
What about that
Misty
one,
flip
dude?
to true top acid. Jesus Christ, man.
I don't think you ever had that trick, dude.
Me?
Yeah.
I did Misty flip to porn star once on
Did
a
you?
quarter pipe. Yeah.
That park, I mean, those obstacles looked really cool. It's got round coping too on everything.
Yeah, that's a sick park. Oh, he's going to the rail to kind grind? Oh, dude, you could get so flexed doing that. Yeah, hurricane fish. That's a sick trick. And he just floated it the whole time. Oh, 540 true soul. That's dope.
What's
God,
he
what is he
doing
doing?
now?
Oh, he just wanted to check that he wouldn't die if he fell off the back.
Yeah, that's smart. So what happens when you get
Hurricane
older?
topsoul stall. Jesus Christ. He's got to be, how old is he?
He's got to be like in the 30s, right?
At least 30 something.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope, dude. Is this going to be a double backflip? 1, 2, 1, 2, double backflip. Wow. Clearly, he's not a smoker. Did he head bump that?
That looked like it.
Like on purpose?
I don't know. Maybe that was the trick.
540 true top soyal. Wow. Yeah, dude is flexing pretty hard in this. And skates vert. That's sick. Boosting that ramp, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit, man.
Got like a drone in there. It wasn't used very well, but
It's really hard to launch out of a vert ramp. Sean Robertson could do that.
Jason did it at Intellect
Yeah, I remember.
into the spine.
Yeah. Before we put up the railing.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
So Kudo section was really good.
That's incredible. That's incredible rollerblading. That's the kind of rollerblading I expected to be seeing in 2023 if you had asked me in like 2005.
Now, if you haven't seen Kudo skate street, let's check out the sauce section that Fritz made. It's only 2 minutes long, and we can compare it to his park skating. So this is from when he was in Dallas for the Carriers comp. So this is only filmed over a couple of days. And
Oh, wow. So he's skating in Dallas? It's not Fritz in France or somewhere?
No, this is in Dallas.
Oh, wow. Well, that was easy peasy. Was that true frontside or true Royale?
Anyway, front side.
Cab sweaty.
With
That's
fat
dope.
rail.
That was cool. That's very modern to me to do that.
I think it's cool because, most people know Kudo for being just this feast park skater. So seeing him skate, have a street section, especially now.
Love a good frontside.
Is pretty rad.
Yeah, this is amazing. I mean, the dude's amazing.
And it looks like Dallas.
Yeah. Is that Vandergrift Park? Lol. That's cool.
I don't know about that angle.
Alley top acid down the kink rail?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. Get it. Get it, girl. Yeah.
That was sick.
That
was really sick.
Hell yeah. It wasn't warm in Dallas. If this was filmed at Christmas, it wasn't warm there either.
No, it wasn't Christmas. It was when they had the Carriers comp.
Oh, okay.
So that would have been a couple months ago. This video came out a month ago.
Okay.
So in the description, it says Plano, Texas is where it officially started for me.
Do people call that hurricane wall ride when you do like a 360 wall ride, or do you just call it 360 wall ride?
360 wall ride.
But it's like the true spin way, so it should be hurricane.
Oh, he's 29.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it says Plano is where it's all started for him because 16 years ago when he was 13, he turned pro, winning the ASA Amateur World Championships at Eisenberg Skate Park. It was his first ever trip to America.
Huh.
Then a couple months ago, Fritz invited him to that competition.
Wow. 360 Royale outspin. That's cool, man. Yeah, the dude's amazing.
They filmed this in 7 days around Dallas. And he got second place.
Oh, just this fool can do a gainer, man. Oh, Jesus.
All right, so that was sick for like a 7-day section. Most sections are filmed, a couple months, right?
Yeah.
So to pull that out in 7 days, pretty sick. I'd love to see what he could do if he was filming, like, say, half a year for like a street section. That'd be pretty awesome. All right.
Yeah, that was amazing. That dude.
All right.
That dude fucks.
Here we go. Back to the live chat. Canada, you've taken over the live chat. You're all over the place, dude.
Yeah, Lander was saying, yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, it was nuts. Both those sections were nuts.
So, yeah, what do you guys think? Kudo for the win in this section. I think it was cool, especially for 7 days. Does anybody have anything in live chat that you would like us to discuss? We have about 10 minutes left in this show. And if you do, let us know. I want to thank you all for watching this. And make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload new videos, do new live chats. If you enjoyed this live stream with Frank, make sure and hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. I'll link to my social media description below, as well as Frank's Instagram. You can follow him, which he doesn't get on. Do you get on your Instagram? Never. So don't follow him.
Yeah, send me an email. How about? You want
to talk to me?
Send me an email.
And I'm going to be doing another live stream next Sunday with Lawrence Ingram again. So it's going to be the continuation of our last live stream, which was pretty interesting and had quite a bit of people following it. So if you guys have any questions or topics you'd like to see me and Lawrence discuss next week, we'll be covering about 5 or 6 topics. If there's anything in particular, go ahead and post it in the description below. Frank, favorite city to skate in?
I had a lot of fun years ago skating in Munich. I skated with this guy named David Odie, who skated for Rosus back in the day, and I stayed at his house there in Munich. That was amazing. I did some really good skating there. London was cool. Austin was always cool. There was tons of shit to skate in Austin. And Denver, too. Denver's got rad spots. I would say those 4. London, Munich, Austin, Denver. Yeah.
That's a good selection. I will say Denver. Austin's was great because it has such a variety of stuff. It has rails, has ledges.
Yeah.
It has new stuff all the time. It has ditches, and the ditch spots have always been really cool.
Yeah, Denver, 5-hip and all those, yeah.
Denver reminds me of like, like almost like a Barcelona, because Barcelona is known for spots. Denver has a lot of spots. I mean, every place you go, you see amazing spots. And I've mentioned this before. Every place you go, you see an amazing spot, and someone reminds you what trick Aragon did on it.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a kind of standard Denver thing? Hopefully, gentrification has got some new.
Yeah, and he's back. He's skating again. He went to the Frankie Morales comp, and he's been around. He skated at Luke's house, I think, a couple times.
Do you know who else is skating again? I saw a park clip of him skating the other day, and it was actually pretty good. For someone who hasn't skated in a really long time, and that's Rob Thompson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was at the Frankie comp too. I don't think he was skating, but he was there. He might have been, but he was there, at least hanging out. But Montgomery Monsters sent me a clip of him at a skate park from this week. So that's really cool to see Rob Thompson back on the blades.
Yeah, that's super cool. Rob was a beast.
And we've got Alex in the house. Made it. Hope I didn't miss everything. And you pretty much did. So you're going to have to go back and watch it because, well, we got to stop pretty soon. My girlfriend's got a meeting tonight, and I want to make sure the bandwidth doesn't mess up having two people online. But thank you for showing up late nonetheless. And Alex was late because he's been doing a new PC build, which is great. New computer. And Frank, you set up your office space a little bit better for doing these live streams.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to work from home now. So all I have to do is just put my regular desk is back there. And I can just move the laptop over to here and hook up, and I've got another monitor. I got to get the lighting figured out so it's not dark in here, and then eventually I've got to put a ceiling in this room.
Are you going to be working remote with your new job?
I can some of the time, yeah. Not every day. I like going in. I don't like sitting here. If I sit here, I'll smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes in one day. If I go in, I was going to do this. I was going to promote these things. This the brand is called On ! If you're trying to quit smoking or even cut back, I highly recommend these. I've got the 8 milligram ones, which are like the Big Daddy ones, and I think they're amazing. And you get the little pouches and you put them in your lip. I haven't done a good job of not smoking during this podcast, but these things are amazing. If you live in the United States, if you go to 7-Eleven, they're buy one get 4 free, and they have been for like a year, which is amazing. But yeah, if I outside of the legislative session, Jan, I will be working from home probably 3 days a week.
Okay.
So I needed to get this set up for a while, and I finally got off my butt and did it today. So it's easy for us to do this because I'll be doing the same kind of thing. These are my work headphones.
So you're definitely going to be smoking a lot less being in the Capitol building all the time.
That's the thing, dude. So in the actual Capitol building, there's like an unmarked men's and women's bathroom. The women's has like a key code on it. The men's is just a regular door, but it's not labeled men's restroom, like up above. Anyway, there's like these big ante rooms where there's like these giant leather couches and chairs, and you can easily imagine that 30 or 40 years ago, there would have been like those gold pedestal ashtrays where dudes would have just been sitting there just smoking cigars all day long. I'm like, man, I missed it. Anyway,
well, it's good. It's good to cut back. You know,
I've cut back a lot. I'm averaging less than a pack a day, and anybody who knows me knows that's a lot to cut back.
Yeah, no, I remember. I mean, you know, Marlboro Red 100s like 3 packs a day, and then like drinking tons of coffee. And you had a period where you were dipping too a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah. That would have been like in Arizona when it was too hot to go outside and smoke, so I started buying cans of chew.
And did you ever smoke and chew at the same time?
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm surprised you're not dead.
You know, I feel like my lungs are fairly pink still. You know, if I could knock it off, it'll only have been 20 years of doing that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel like you said with Kudo, you're like, he's definitely not a smoker.
Yeah, that guy doesn't smoke. Yeah, he does not smoke.
Have you noticed? I mean, you've been doing it for so long. Do you notice it in your lungs when you're skating and stuff? Like,
oh yeah. Plus, I'm like out of shape and fat and everything. Like, it's the whole thing is part of a get healthier program. So,
so what's next in your program besides not smoking as much?
Racquetball.
Oh, racquetball's fun.
Yeah, Luke Bender's brother Seth is a buddy of mine, and he and I are going to start trying to play racquetball in the mornings.
Cool.
I love racquetball. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, I used to play all the time back when they had them in Austin.
Yeah.
They got rid of all the ones at the YMCA's there.
Oak Hill still has it, buddy?
I didn't think Oak Hill still had it when we were there last time.
Oak Hill still has it.
Well, the one up north got rid of it, and they had so many up there.
Yeah, they had like 8, I think. That was the new one. The one out on MLK.
No, over off Lamar and Runberg.
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah. They moved all the racquetball to the one on by Tracor out there. That place has like a water park. That's like amazing.
Yeah, my dad used to go out there. So yeah. Well, hey, 8:39. almost time to cut out. Frank, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was fun chatting.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.
We will do another one here in the next couple months. Again, I'm going to have Lawrence Ingram on the show next weekend on Sunday. So if you have any questions for Lawrence, let me know in the description below. If you have any questions for Frank for the next live stream or topics you want us to discuss, post those in the description below. Again, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, hit the bell icon to be notified of all new uploads. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us in the live chat. Thank you for watching this video. If you didn't join us live, Frank,
thanks, y'all.
Thanks for joining me. And
yeah, of course.
Good luck with your new job.
Thanks, man.
In the new session. I look forward to hearing about it. It's going to be a big change from what you've been doing before.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. Thanks, Jan. Y'all take care.
Awesome. Goodbye, everyone. Stay in the live chat for a second, Frank, and I'll talk to you after we end the broadcast.
Okay.